Hey, what's going on? It's Green Thumb. Welcome to my kitchen. So I had a huge wicked harvest this weekend, and we're going to be processing some of the tomatoes that I harvested into salsa. I don't have enough time tonight to do the whole process, but what I'm going to do is I need to get all of the skins off of these. So there's a couple of different methods. One of them, you can do the submerge them in boiling water, then drop them into ice cold water with ice or without ice, and the water out of my tap doesn't get super cold, and I don't have actually any ice here, so that's not going to work. So the other option is you cut them in half. You cut all the tops and stuff off. Obviously you don't want that anyways, right? So it's easier to do it when it's in this format. So cut all this stuff off, cut them in half down the center, and just lay them out on baking dishes. Put them in your oven under broil for about 6 inches distance from the elements to the rack, and then cook them for 12 to 15 minutes, give or take. So that's what we're gonna do. So what I need for my recipe, so I'm gonna follow the Ball's Blue Book salsa recipe. I need 6 pounds for 6 pints, and I don't want to do 6 pints. That's a waste of time. I'm going to do 12 because I've got the 23 quart Presto. So yeah, anyways, so we're going to cut some of the bad stuff off of here and try to get to 13 pounds. And if I don't have 13 pounds, because I want a little bit extra, I'm probably aiming for 13 and a half pounds right now, because I want to be able to cut the tops off. I know I'm going to lose weight, so I need 6 pounds for one recipe, so I'm going to double it to 12 pounds processed. And I've got a scale right here, and I'm also keeping track on my whiteboard. So all right, well, I'll get some of those tomatoes out of the sink and we'll get going. So here's the plan. Take the tomatoes, washed, cut the bad stuff off. Right beside me, right at my feet on my right hand side, I have a 5-gallon bucket, and it's the muck bucket. So just cut them in half, and I'm going to put them upside down in the strainer right over here. Show you what we got. I'm picking out of here. I'm putting the tomatoes upside down here so they can just start to drain a little bit. And then I'm going to, after the ones have drained in there for a little bit, they're going to go into that bowl, and I'm just going to keep adding them up and weigh them out until I get the amount that I need. There we go. So, like I was saying earlier, with heirloom varieties, they're not always the nicest looking tomatoes, but they sure as hell are the best tasting tomatoes. So, in half and upside down. And another good thing about processing them like this is you can catch the flaws in them as you're kind of going through them. So I've got lots of tomatoes, so if I have to cut big chunks off so that I have nice pieces of tomato, I don't mind doing that. I'm feeding this to my family, right? So just keep adding and putting them in the strainer here. I may or may not keep that juice that's going to drip into the strainer, because I'm not reducing the salsa to the point where I'm going to lose anything of it. I'm probably just going to, put it in a saucepan for about 15 minutes. And then once it's boiled for about 15 minutes, then I'm going to start jarring it. So it's not like I'm losing any moisture in that time frame. If anything, there's probably more moisture because the moisture is getting broken down in all the vegetables. It smells so good in here right now. I wait all year to be able to grow and eat tomatoes. I don't know how many plants I even had this year. I've lost a few. I gained a few from my neighbor. I would say 50 to 60 plants. And I brought home, if this is 13 pounds that I have separated from the rest of everything, I probably have about 45 pounds just in large tomatoes, which is pretty damn good, I'd say. Because next after this, I think we're doing sloppy joes. I'm gonna make some sloppy joe sauce for the kids because they love sloppy joes. So yeah. All right, guys, I'm gonna get to doing 13 pounds of this, and when I get it all weighed out, I'll show you guys what 13 pounds of processed tomatoes look like. And then once I start, actually, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna film. I'm gonna fill this bowl, I'm gonna weigh it, and then I'm gonna get those tomatoes onto this pan and in the oven, and I'll just do one bowl at a time. So anyways, I'm just gonna finish this and we'll catch up. Okay, all right, so we got our first bowl ready. I don't know how many pounds are in it, so we're just gonna see and then gauge it from there. So, got the scale. You put your bowl on it. It gives you a tare. This bowl weighs 7.2 ounces. You turn it off, then you just turn it back on. Now it's tared for that bowl. We take the big bowl of tomatoes that we've already cut up and just sitting in top of the other bowl. Pour them in there, and then we have an idea of where we sit. All right, so we have 3 pounds and 10 ounces of tomatoes in there. Oh, looks like I have to do 4 more of those. All right, here we go. 4 more bowls coming right up. Hey, what's going on? So, just wanted to show you guys a little trick. I don't know if you know it or not, but when you're cutting something up on a cutting board on a counter, and especially if it's something that's going to be wet and leaky, right? Take a cloth that's bigger than your cutting board, wet it, and then wring the water out so it's not wet, but it's definitely not dry. Put your cutting board on top, and then look. Hang on, where's my hand? Right? It sticks right down to your countertop. So if you've never done that before, give it a try. I guarantee you're going to be amazed. It's going to feel damn near like the cutting board is glued to your counter. So anyways, just a quick hint, and we're still cutting up tomatoes. All right, so this is what it took to fill up a large baking sheet. It's 5 pounds and 16 ounces. So 6 pounds, 16 ounces in a pound. Okay, so, all right. Well, it's good to know that we can essentially do, sorry for the camera, my tripod keeps bumping my hip here. So at least we know that we can do one recipe as it is online with what we can fit on a baking sheet, but we're going to double that. So that's good. So I will process down another baking sheet because I got 2 sitting here. And while this cooks off, I'll process another one, and then while that other one's in the oven, I'll take the peels off of this, and when I'm done taking the peels off of this, the other one will be ready in the oven, and then I'll take the peels off of those, and they'll all go in a great big bowl and in the fridge until tomorrow, because I am running out of time. All right, here we go. Let's do this. Okay, so that's them at 7 minutes. They're starting to get a little wrinkly, but nothing spectacular. We're going to keep going. Got a timer set on my phone. All right, so far, that was easy. They just came out of the oven. They were in there for 13 minutes, and I got gloves on so I can work a lot faster. And we're going to see how easy it is to peel peels. All right, well, it pretty much just slid right off. Let's try the next one. Wow. Okay, so for those of you who use the water bath method, and between the hot and the cold water, and you have water everywhere and massive pots of boiling water on your stove and such, yeah, this right here, this is the new bee's knees. Now, it'd probably be a lot easier doing this when they've cooled down a little bit, but I'm on a timeline. Okay, so that's the whole tray of tomatoes broken down. That was 6 pounds. And that's all the skins we have. They come off super simple. And if you instead of doing it in the water, guys, I recommend this. This is like game changing. I wouldn't have even had a pot of water come up to the boil in the time that it's taken me to take care of all this. So I'm going to put all the juice and tomato here into a large bowl behind me, and then I've got a whole bunch more tomatoes cut up. I'm going to start weighing out and doing the same process again, and that'll be my 12 plus pounds. So, end story for tonight. We have 2 big metal bowls full of a total of 13 pounds of tomatoes with no skins on them. I'm cooling them down. You can see the steam coming off there. So, and they're going to sit in my fridge till tomorrow. And this was way easier than doing the boiling pot of water and the ice bath method. There's no cleanup. There's literally one bowl like that, and a strainer, and a cutting board, and a baking sheet. There's no mess on my countertops. There's no water poured everywhere. So if you guys are looking for a method to take the peels off your tomatoes, I recommend this. This is going to be my go-to from now on. So, okay, and so I'm going to upload this video because that's it for today. And tomorrow I'll be making salsa, and we're going to start off with putting these tomatoes in a great big pot and starting to weigh out the rest of the ingredients. Okay, love ya. Green thumb out. See ya.